entertainment center and all that set up. So that's, yeah, hanging TVs on the wall, finding the beams and all this. And this house actually, though, has pocket doors. You guys know what pocket doors are? Hanging TVs on the wall. Where you do the, the doors just slide into the wall. So there's a couple of rooms that have pocket doors. And I was looking at hanging some heavy stuff, not just like a picture, but I've got this big handmade wrought iron mirror that's like 6 feet by 4 feet. It's this gorgeous thing we had made in Nogales, Mexico, when we lived in Tucson. And it was designed for this house that we had, which had 14-foot ceilings. It was a freaking mansion, basically. And so I've carried this thing around. Everywhere we've gone, we have found a place for this mirror. Well, this mirror would go floor to ceiling. It's like 8 feet maximum, where I was looking to hang it. It's like point to point, 8 feet tall. So it would take up the entire height of this one wall. And I was like, that's the wall it's got to go on. It can't go anywhere else, right? And I start hitting the wall looking for studs. There's no studs. It's all like metal and this for the pocket doors, and there's a wall safe and stuff. So I'm out of luck. So I'm going to sell the mirror. I'm probably going to make money on it too. We actually hired the blacksmiths. We met the guys at the ironworking shop in Mexico, and I showed them a picture. I was like, look at this hotel. See that mirror? I want something like that, with the scrolls and the iron. And so I think I paid $300 for the mirror. I'm probably going to get more for it right now. So if you go on Facebook Marketplace, Shannon's got it listed. Anyway, but you're going to have to look in the Clearwater area because that's where we are. Anyway.
Yeah, that's not going to be an item that ships so well.
It doesn't ship well. No, it weighs about 80 pounds. So no hanging that on sheetrock, right? I need studs. I need wood. Anyway, good to see you guys. It's Fun Friday, so I'm wearing a different shirt today. I know it's the first Friday of the month, so I'm supposed to be wearing a jacket and tie. But guys, I'm just not getting into jacket and tie for you this month. Formal Friday. Anybody got a joke or a dog or a cat or something you want to share? Something lighthearted to start our session? Come on down. Oh, look at that doggy. Hey, Ingrid. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I forgot the name of that dog. Ingrid's muted now. She's driving. I don't want to enforce.
I can't tell. I know some of her doggies' names, but I can't tell which one she had.
That is Sheba, Queen of the World.
Ah, Sheba, Queen of the World. And Virginia, I saw your cat as well.
This is my cat, Kosuke, which is a weird name, but it's like a Japanese anime or something. He's so sweet. He's always next to me.
Right. Well, good to see you both. That's very good. I've got the dogs locked out of my office right now. Otherwise, I'd give you a little time with Butch, our little 3-legged Chihuahua, or Jag, who's afraid of everything. But thank you, guys. Glad you're here, and thank you for bringing your animals. What are we going to talk about? Yeah,
Catherine's got her cat in the water.
Well, I see that. That's
doesn't
like
look very happy. Looks kind of ferocious.
I wonder about that. I wonder about that because all living creatures require water, right? And yet people, I've never owned a cat, but because I'm mildly allergic and I prefer dogs anyway, but people give their cats like a bowl of milk. Do cats actually drink water too? No.
Yes, they have to drink water. Milk is bad for them. They're not a cow.
Okay. Hey.
Ingrid?
Milk isn't good for cats, actually.
Okay. Got it. So
actually, most animals, once they're finished lactating, they don't need milk anymore because they're done with that now. We're the only species pretty well that keeps drinking milk, and we really don't need it.
Well, we're omnivores. So yeah,
right.
There's that. So that means eat everything. In fact, I remember, here's the joke for you. So Fun Friday, everybody. So we walk into this restaurant that's called Sweet Tomatoes. Anyone ever heard of Sweet Tomatoes, right? Yeah. So soup and salad, all you can eat, right? And so there on the board, there's like I guess prices, adult, child, to go order or whatever. But typically you go in there, you load up on salad, and then you get the soup and the little pizza bar or whatever. But on the sign, it said, these are the exact words that it said. Please consume all food on premises. In other words, no stuffing stuff into your purse to take it home. It's an
Oh.
all-you-can-eat salad bar, right? So you're supposed to eat there. You don't take it home. But there's another way to read that. Please consume all food on premises. I'm like, I don't know if I'm up for the challenge. That's
There'll be a guy who's looking at that, totally.
oh my goodness. I think some people might have been up for the challenge, but they probably weren't at the salad bar. They were probably at a different restaurant. Anyway, please consume all food on premises. I got a kick out of that. So did my wife.
Yeah, grammar is their friend.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're wrapping up the week. And I am, next time you see me, I'm going to have a proper office because now almost every other room is done. So my office is next to last and then garage is last. Oh, here's a preschool joke for you. Where does a snowman keep his money? I don't know, Julia. In a snowbank. There you go. Yay.
John, keep that box up always where it says, we hear you.
We hear you. You know what that box is? That is a studio monitor. And that's their little tagline. We hear you. That's a Behringer.
Cut it out and
30.
frame it, that part.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you keep your boxes, right? I get it.
There you go. Good stuff. But the week, I'll tell you what's coming up for me here is the total friggin' destruction of my routine. And I was thinking about that as it relates to, doing business and doing life really, and having things that habits that serve you. And anyone who's done a significant move or a significant life change, you've experienced where the routine has been gone out the window. Some people, perhaps, better than me, they can maintain a routine even through something like an experience like what I've just had. But then in contrast to that, I'm thinking about how many people don't have a routine at all. In my consulting work, one of the first things that I consult people on is, as we've talked about a few times this week, what you do with your time, including and especially in the mornings. Now, some of you have been exposed to and read Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, which is a simplified and sort of codified way to have what we could call a daily method of operation. He calls it the SAVERS, is his acronym, silence and visualization and all this. Some of this stuff you can combine. I think he just wanted to get a cool word out of it, SAVERS. Okay, great. So there's your acronym, do what you like with it. But the idea that we could have consistency, that we could develop habits, and that these things would serve us, right? Like exercising every day, daily study, visualization, income producing activities, journaling, some people do, right? Which he calls scribing because he needed the acronym, right? SAVERS. Okay, good. So some people have never done anything like that. And so when I look at my, my own failings as it relates to my routine, or that which I would choose to have and typically do have as a routine, I can look and say, well, woe is me, and I've really gone off the wagon, so to speak. On the other hand, just the fact that for however many decades I've done what I would call, right actions and things that I've chosen, in a self-determined fashion to do, which are, I find, resourceful. There's a residual effect to that. Just like when we've got let's say a bad habit, right? There's a residual effect to that. There's a residual effect to good habits. We accrue, and like a compounding sort of a thing, we accrue resourcefulness. We've talked about things like resolve and decision-making and all this, but we can accrue resourcefulness. In fact, the person we become, I guess here's the trick, the person we become in the process of developing habits is one that, without even thinking about it, and even though major curveball of life, right, we still show up as more powerfully than the person who's never deliberately put in place a daily method of operation, a routine, something that they've been consistent with. Now, when we look at success itself, and everything that you can see in your environment. Let's say right now I was in Julia's, since she's muted, she can't talk back, so we'll just lean on her a little bit. So let's say I was in Julia's environment right now, and I could see in her office there is files and books and things where she can find them, right? So that's an orderly state. I don't know the whole scene there, but I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. We're going to say that's an orderly state. A successful state, all success is based on orderly movement, right? This goes there, that goes there, and then we can have things do things. In contrast, a lot of people spend like half their time, I'm not exaggerating, like half their time just looking for their stuff. Where's my stuff, right? That's a major time suck. I get to the point where once this office is set up, everything's going to be exactly where it is always and forever, and never, ever, 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 ever move it. It's just because I don't like spending time looking for stuff. And so we've used this example before too, like the let's say the military guy or the police, right? Where they've got their kit, their gear, radio, weapon, taser, right? Handcuffs, etc., right? Pen, right? And they don't have to look. You have to look, oh, where's my gun? Oh, you better damn well know exactly where that gun is in a split second. You better damn well know. And it's the same spot every single day. Okay, so that is one example of saving time by having things in order. Well, when we don't have things in order, and moving is certainly a more random or chaotic state, okay, but when we don't have things in order, and let's say we're attempting to approach a business, something where we want to create success, right? We want to create that orderly state. But if we don't develop or put in, and this is quite often uncomfortable, put in order on ourselves, then how are we going to do that in our environment? As within, so without. So the person who chronically or consistently has been random will continue to show up as a randomized person, regardless of the methods, the efforts, the intended goals, the stated purposes. Who's doing it is the big question. The person who can create order and put order into their environment because they've got it in their mind, because they're operating from a position of order and proactivity, I guess we could say. Or the person who's hoping, here's the thing, the person who's hoping that these new circumstances, new methods, right? Let's say, for example, a new business. You just got started in an e-commerce deal. You just got started with, let's say, Beamer Health products, right? Or I don't know, you joined some sort of a community program or something where you intend to be an asset to the group. Well, any of these methods or these doing this, kind of opportunities, the success of them is predicated on your ability to do it in an orderly way. And when we get into the groups, right? So now I'm talking about order as an individual. I have a disordered environment in this particular space, which is my space. Okay, but now we get into groups, organizations, communities, churches, nations. The quality of what we could call success of those environments, those bigger environments, is predicated on the collective, let's say, average of the individuals who, especially those who are influencing the direction or the productivity, the end product of that group. Now, we can all see where we've been involved in groups that there was that person. I think a homeowners association might be a good example, or perhaps a PTA, or think of a committee. I wrote in my first book, I don't like committees. Committees are a great way to grow old and get nothing done, or to, have a great conversation about, everything that's wrong. So I'm not a big fan of committees, but there are workable ones, right? Where people are in sympathetic purpose and the ego is put aside and they are complete in and of themselves. In other words, they are independent. They're not seeking importance or asserting their rightness or anything like that. The purpose of the group is served by each individual because they're They're people who are independently successful already. But then you've got that person who always has to have the last word. They've got, I know some of you are thinking of this person right now. You've got them in your mind. And they are an authoritarian. And, oh, that can't go there. No, you're wrong. Oh, but what about that? And they'll find everything that we can call these spiritual vampires. And they suck the juices out of the group, right? They're like parasitic, energy parasites, right? And I was thinking of a homeowners association because I know sometimes that's where the committee where people get to really flex their muscles. We don't like that color. Your flagpole is too high. Don't even think about putting a radio antenna on your house, right? So, by the way, I don't live in an HOA. There's no HOA here. Do whatever the hell you want. Yeah, God bless America. I'm going to put a huge ham radio antenna outside too. Huge. You guys know, some of you know, I did the ham radio course and everything, and I'm a ham radio operator as of a year ago now. But anyway, you've got, it's all part of like the emergency preparedness thing and all that. But you've got people who, because of their own disorder, let's say, in terms of, who am I? Am I good enough as I am? Why does somebody need to assert their rightness all the time? Why does someone need to be in opposition? I'm not talking about, hey, there's an actual problem. Let's identify the problem. Here's constructive criticism or something like that. But why are there spiritual vampires? Why is that? And I don't know if I'm the only person who's experienced this, probably not. In fact, I know I'm not. I heard my wife just talking about this the other day to one of her clients and talking about, this client who, probably better off without that client, right? Go release them to their greater good or something. They can go buy from your competitor. Because the quality of the group, let's say we're in a group setting, which we are right now. Okay, the quality of the group is I would say based on the average of the quality of the individuals. So then, what is our personal responsibility to all this? If we intend to show up as an asset in our own lives and in the lives of the groups that we participate in, what is our responsibility in all this? This is a big question. Well, if I can add to or subtract from the average let's say success or orderliness of a group, well, then I damn well at least better have my own act together. So in the micro sense, yes, I'm responsible for my own success, my own order or disorder and what have you. But it goes beyond that. When we read Steve Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talked about the hierarchy of dependence, right? And at the bottom would be actually dependent, like you cannot do for yourself. Above that would be independent, you can do for yourself. And then the highest would be interdependent. So not only are you independent, but you can also now operate cooperatively with other independent people. But when we take that dependent person, here's the spiritual vampire or something, and we put them into a situation that requires cooperation, interdependence, that's when they get to be the drain on the group. So then my responsibility for all of this is to show up as above average. If the success of the group is based on the average of the individuals, well, then my responsibility is to raise that average. We could take this to kind of like spiritual or biblical heights too, where we could say that here's all the evil in the world, which is easily observable if you're looking, right? And then we could say, here are these people who are way like enlightened, and that balances out the average. Otherwise, the world will probably destroy itself. I mean, if you looked at how a lot of people survive or live, or if you can call it living, right? It's barbaric. Here we are having a civilized conversation on the interwebs, right? With electric lights and everything else, right? There's people dodging bullets and starving to death in the street and everything else. This is insane. Okay. In fact, I read, I've read a couple of things, but I read from one author that was talking about how, these like avatar kind of people or Christ-like people balance out. This is why the world doesn't destroy itself. When you see the dregs of society, when you see the bottom 2%, we'll know that there's a top 2% too. All right, that balances that out. I also read, this was from a book Neil Donald Walsh wrote some years ago called Conversations with God. Anybody ever read that book? Kind of an interesting read, where he mocked up this conversation with God. And he was talking about, life on other planets. And so, is there life on other planets? Oh, yes. Oh, I thought, maybe we were, and I'm paraphrasing now, so maybe here on Earth, we were, maybe the only ones, or maybe we're the most advanced. And to which the reply came, no, you're not even close. And I remember the metaphor that was used in the book was, he was told, if this was like a football field, like 100 yards, you Earthlings would be around the 10-yard line, around 10. So do what you would like with that. But Johann Goethe said, we don't have to visit a madhouse to find disordered minds. Our planet is the mental institution of the universe. Goethe, late 1800s. So with that in mind, we can do two things with this. One, we can acknowledge ourselves for having, chosen to be more evolved, more responsible, more able, more orderly than what we can observe if we're looking out into broad society. The second thing that we could do, so that's nice self-acknowledgement. So now you don't need somebody else to validate you. You don't need to assert your rightness or seek importance. Or no, I'm good. Thank you. But the other thing we could do is not rest on our laurels, and we could say, how can I be part of that solution in the lives of others? Let's say the uninitiated. Right? The person who's just showing up now after 30, 40, 50 years, realizing their life doesn't work, and now they should probably do something about it, because the person who keeps showing up at the scene of the crime is in the mirror. Can you show up now as a part of the solution in that person's life? Not that you need to go out and hang a shingle and say, hey, I'm your life coach or something, but I guess that's a possibility. But just by your example, you can impress others with increase. You can set a demonstration, right? That here's a more orderly way to live. Here's a less chaotic way to live. I'm sure some of you have relatives, right, who are always in a crisis relationship. And in fact, I can think of some of these. I've got a cousin who's been married, I think, 5 or 6 times. She's 10 years younger than me. I don't pass judgment. To me, that seems like, and hopefully this one is the one. Okay. But anybody want to sign up for that? Anybody? No? Okay. I don't have the energy. In fact, I remember having a conversation with my wife about infidelity. And it was kind of a chuckle, because it was like, energy for more. I mean, you're quite enough, right? So in fact, there was a joke. Oh, it's Fun Friday. Why did Solomon have so many wives? Because he was hoping that one of them would be in a good mood one day. Okay, so I don't want chaos in my life. If others think me boring, well, okay. Think whatever you want, but my life works. And I can recognize that, because I can also see in things that are less workable, right? Like moving, I can see the contrast. Like, I like my routines. I like that. I also like spontaneity and road trips and whatever. That's cool. Okay. But I'm excited to get back into a routine. I'm excited to create some order in my life. It feels good to me. And I think that's attractive to other people who are seeking to be, do, and have more in their own lives. So that's something we can all do, right? Because I remember when I was writing Integrity is Everything, there was this meditation I went into where I was considering, why had I become successful? Out of all the people that I grew up around, many of them dead, right? They in the gutter, right? I'm talking about running the streets in New Jersey with unsavory characters, right? And I started looking these people up to see what could I find? Where did their life go, right? A couple of them had, social media and, and they were just still in the gutter. And those are the ones I could even find, right? So I was asking myself, well, why did I become successful and all this? And so, well, it's because I took action, right? Success requires action. That's not too difficult. I guess these people didn't take action. Okay, I took action, different actions, right? Okay. But why did I take action? Well, because I was motivated, right? What is motivation? It's the willingness to act, right? I was motivated. But why weren't these other people motivated? Well, it's because I believed. I believed that I could be, do, or have more, right? I mean, there was a belief that, fostered motivation, which then created action and then success. I believed. Belief, yes. Belief in myself. Okay, yeah. But why did I believe? Why didn't these other people believe? And then I got to it. Down the rabbit hole I went. And it was, I believed because I saw you do it. Because I had evidence. Because you showed up in my life, knowingly or not, as a mentor. And your life worked. And you demonstrated to me that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that fostered my belief. I couldn't do this alone. And I'm talking about, here's a kid who, with no purpose and a, head full of hate and whatever, transforming into, successful business, married, blah, 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 right? Father now. I wasn't a father when I wrote the book, but but that's how important your success is. That's how important to others you showing up as above average or successful or orderly and your life works, right? That's how important that is, because there's people you don't even know are looking right now. Some of those could be kids, that could be community business groups you show up in, right? So you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. So back to the question of what is my responsibility for this? My responsibility is to demonstrate success, orderliness, right living. So whoever's looking can pick themselves up by their bootstraps, have a little kernel of flame, a little belief, right? Hopefully get motivated, take some action and cause something to occur, something good. And to this day, I'll have people say, John, it's that thing you said 20 years ago on that conference call. I'm like, oh, really? What was it? Right. Just like our talk right now, I had no idea what was about to come out of my mouth. I was asking you guys for a topic before we went live, but this is what's coming out of my mouth. So hopefully it's relevant for you. It's damn relevant for me. But the idea that we could accrue resourcefulness by consistently choosing for ourselves right action and therefore be an asset to a larger group, whether we know it or not, I think that also is something we could put our attention on and we can validate. We can validate that. You are an asset to your groups. Virginia, Julia, Mandy, Gail, Daisy. Daisy, I'm sorry, we gotta talk. As you could see, Daisy, my life has been freaking chaos. So, Daisy, we gotta make time to talk today. But you can be an asset to your groups. And know that you are. How do you know that you are? Because your life works, right? So be a part of the solution, my friends. I think at this point, what I'm going to do is stop talking, and any ideas that are coming up for you, I would love to hear. I see where Virginia put in the chat. Where did I just read? We are a reflection of the 10 people we spend the most time with. Yeah. But keep in mind that they're reflecting you, right? So it's not all just look at me, I'm the effect of all these other people. You're the cause too. Good times. Any thoughts? Any thoughts on this? This whole idea of accruing resourcefulness. Missy, what's going on, Missy?
Mostly right now I feel gratitude to you, because while you were moving in extreme chaos, they call that one of the hardest life things to do. It's life changing and it's very difficult. You still showed up in a truck in the fog in Texas, driving 1,000,000 miles an hour with losing your thing. You kept trying to come back. And that, talk about an impressive increase. I mean, it is so admirable, and it is such a wonderful example. And when I think of when I feel like I can't do this, because I'm like, he drove a truck and there was a car, I wanted to. It is more than you know every single day what you give to all of us. And just the platform and the other people on it, Adrian and Ivy and Glenn, everybody. It is, sometimes you should take a meditation on what you have brought to people, not to build up your ego, just to realize what you are doing for the world. And it's more than what we can add to a group. It's a duty. It's become a duty to me. I feel it's a duty. And I'm sure everybody feels the same way, but you and Shannon probably need to think about that a little bit and just do a little patting on the back, because I mean, how much can I say? I love you. I haven't even met Shannon yet. I love her. Of course, I can't even finish it because I'm so busy. But just thank you. Through all of that, you were still thinking of us. You've never not shown up as the guy, as the John Lavenia. So thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you, Missy. I'll receive that acknowledgement. And so I guess when we talk about accruing resourcefulness, that's one demonstration of it, right? Is I said I was going to show up, and to this day, if I say I'm going to show up, I typically, I do. It's just, if it's on my calendar, I know for myself, if I don't create order on my calendar, it's not going to happen. The reason I haven't talked to Daisy in 2 days is because it's not on my calendar, right? So it doesn't exist. So that's the kind of thing I just know for myself. That's how my brain works. But yeah, I said I was going to be there. Damn it, I'm going to be there, hell or high water. So there are things. So now let me turn that back to you, right? What are these things where people can, you're reliably that. You are reliably that. I will tell you that being stable and being someone that people can rely on, like the rock, right? You build on rock. That's hugely valuable in the marketplace. And look, sometimes I question, what am I even doing here, right? Here we are, talking philosophy and all this, right? It's much more popular. There's TikTok right now. People are watching, hip hop, stupid antics and stunts and failures and, right? Or what do you eat for lunch or whatever. People getting, thousands of views and all. I'm like, am I barking up the wrong tree with all this highbrow, right living and philosophy? I don't know. Look, I'm not going to pretend to be an authority in areas that I'm not. Again, that's that whole self-importance, seeking validation and all that, So thank you for recognizing that I keep showing up as John Lavenia. I don't know who else to show up as. So anyway, thank you, Missy. Any other thoughts on this today, this lighthearted and flippant topic of accruing resourcefulness into our lives? All right, Virginia, hello.
I just on your last comment about showing up as John Lavenia and you don't know who else to show up as, I have heard you talk about the John Lavenia in high school and the street kid, back in Jersey. So you're showing up as a different, much more improved, continually improving version of John Lavenia.
Oh, that's good.
And I think that's what we all try to do, is just get, what is it we used to say? Every day, each day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every
day in every way.
Yeah. So yeah, the improved version. Who now knows he's stuck in Florida because he's never going to move again. So you better like it.
That's it. Well, I'm going to definitely get some property in Arizona as well, but we'll start fresh, just fresh. So.
Do you have Golden Corrals restaurants in Arizona?
Yeah.
Golden Corral. Okay. Because you're going to see those over there in Florida a lot. And it's your all you can eat till you're stuffed buffet type thing. Very popular in Florida.
Oh, okay. I've driven past them. I've never gone in one.
It's just an
Oh.
experience. You may not do it all the time, but yeah, you do it at least
Very,
once.
very American, very
So
excessive.
American.
Yeah. What was that, Ingrid?
So American.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't even
Huge.
understand why anyone would do those. I mean, how can anyone in their right mind even eat to a point of making it worth, like, you can't get a half buffet. You have to pay all this money, and you can only eat basically, I don't know, a quarter of a plate. And it's just such a grab. I don't even get it. So bizarre.
You'll take a look at the people who are in there. They can put away several plates.
They usually have pinheads, like their necks are bigger than their heads.
Wow. Well, I just looked on the map, just so you know, and the closest Golden Corral is in Tampa, and I'm in Clearwater, so it's across the bay. Temporarily closed. Okay, so that's not even happening. I'm not sure why they're closed. Look at that. Virginia, you're leading me astray. I am ready for my Golden Corral experience.
I want to know which gym you're going to. So you going to the gym all the time now? Because I know you can't miss more than
Well,
one
right now
day.
it's unloading boxes, putting together furniture, hanging ceiling fans and TV sets. Yeah, that's been my exercise, and it's been 14-hour days. So yeah, so no, but there's a gym right around the corner. I can ride my bike to it, and it's going to be LA Fitness, Sporta, which I already have a membership. I used to ride my bike to Sporta Fitness over in Gilbert, Arizona. So good times.
Who was
Okay,
it?
excellent.
Who was it that said about that? We are a reflection of the 10 people we spend most time with. I just was reading that the other day. Was that a Neville Goddard? No.
Ingrid?
She said it.
Ingrid, yeah, that's right. Virginia said it. There you go. I've heard it stated another way, is that your income will be the average of your 5 closest friends.
Okay.
So another way to state that, like kind of what you accept as your standards are the average of your friends' standards. So.
Well, we always say this in music, like when you're going to play chamber music or you're in an orchestra or whatever, it's like, please God, don't let me be the best one there, because it's incredible how you start to suck after like only a few minutes of playing in a subpar group. And you're like, how does that actually happen? So yeah, totally.
Wow. There you go. From a professional musician as well.
And in Spanish, my grandmother used to always say, tell me who you hang around with and I'll tell you who you are.
Right. Right. Good times, everybody. Anybody else got some thoughts on this topic for today? Accruing resourcefulness. I see no other hands, no other hot microphones.
I need to get less messy. I mean, God, I can't even imagine how amazing I'm going to be if I ever get less messy. Like, I'm just like, yeah. I just need to get organized. And it's so bizarre. Like, one thing, practicing violin, it's like breathing, right? You just sort of do it and you just do it, and you do that thing, and you do it every day, or not anymore, but you know what I mean. And man, everything else that I do in life is just so random. I mean, shit, can you imagine if I actually did it logically?
Well, then that's why we're having this conversation. This was just for you, right? So we've got.
I was going, why is he picking on me today?
Right. Well, here's why. Because you're brilliant and awesome, and I know it, and I think you know it to a degree. I might know it more than you. And think about if you just channeled that awesomeness into, specific orderly directions, which also includes where we're not putting attention, right? So eliminating or relieving yourself of things that are not serving you. Wow. In fact, when we moved in here, we said we want nice stuff and less of it, right? So rather than tons of stuff of varying quality, nice stuff and just space around that nice stuff,
Totally agree with that.
Right. So so that's the mission that we're on, because we pretty much dumped all our furniture. There's a couple things we kept, my office chair and our dining room set, but yeah, we had no couch. We had nowhere to sit. We have no coffee table. Yeah, so we are starting fresh in that way. But my goodness, we still filled the truck just with books and electronics and stuff, the stuff that was worth keeping. Anyway, Julia's got her hand up. Julia, we're going to yield the floor to you. Hopefully you've got the voice for it. Come on out, my friend.
I have the voice as long as I don't cough. I just wanted to say, in terms of getting organized, Shannon has helped me. I got this when I took her course, and I am so proud of myself for, even being sick, I've filled my week and tried to do things, and this organizer, whatever it's called, Virginia knows what it's called.
The Law of Attraction Planner?
Yeah, Law of Attraction Planner is wonderful. And I am so dedicated this year to being totally on board and organized and planning ahead. So kudos to Shannon. And thanks to you. And I missed, since I've been traveling and then sick, I missed why you're moving to Clearwater. Maybe everybody else knows, but are you?
It's something that we had sort of postulated, not sort of, back in the spring. And we were thinking, if we were going to buy property, where would be a really good place to buy? Because we had just been renting since Shannon, got cancer, and then we went through the treatments and everything. We downsized. So we were in Utah. We went back to Arizona, just renting the whole time. And then, we come back and forth to the Tampa Bay area. We got business associates here, and my wife and daughter love the water. And screw it, let's do it, right? What am I waiting for? Let's give it a shot. Plus, it's very congruent with our our lifestyle, and in terms of conservative and family oriented, and Ron DeSantis and all that. We're loving Florida. So yeah, good times. And I will tell you what, Julia, they've got everything here, including tons of Italians. And there is so much. We wanted pizza at like 9:15 last night. Here's your pizza. And it was good. And it was good. It was that fast, right? And they've got like trap and skeet clubs here. Shotgunning's a big thing here in Pinellas County. So I'm going to take up, trap and skeet. I got this beautiful trap gun, Winchester shotgun, and I've shot it like once. Most of my firearm stuff has been tactical and defensive, but this is like sporting, sporting clays, and get into shotgunning. What the hell, right? They got like fundraisers. We were walking into a restaurant on Clearwater Beach. So it's like a sandbar, it's big, best beach I've ever seen in my life. Gorgeous beach. But anyway, we're walking into this restaurant, and there was a flyer on the door, fundraiser. They're giving away the shotgun. Here's the fundraiser for the kids and whatever. So God bless America. I'm going to go do some shotgunning. So hooray. Does that answer your question? All right. Good times, everybody. Hey, no Be Heard today. I am cranking on this house. If somebody needs something from me, please let's Q&A, one-on-one, whatever you need. Hit me on Telegram or Skype. Otherwise, please have a great weekend. We'll be back here Monday with an actual office. And we're going to get some great stuff done this year.